Hello, my name is Lars Zimmerman and this is Fixing Funding for Sustainability, Episode 1. And today I'm going to talk about grants or similar funding sources for sustainability. Grants where you have to apply for. Let's look at an example. Very often these grants work like this. Let's say there's an institution that has some money and wants to give it to a sustainability project. Let's say it's 1,000 euros. And they make people apply for it. The application is a bit complicated. Let's say it takes 4 hours. If each hour is worth 25 euros, then an application is worth 100 euros. So we look here at 100 euros or 4 hours of time that haven't gone into saving bees, planting trees or do anything good for sustainability, but to write an application. Often these grants consider themselves successful when many people apply. So let's say not one, but maybe 50 initiatives apply. These numbers aren't unusual in the field of sustainability. So we look here at 5,000 euros or 200 hours of time that haven't gone into saving bees, planting trees or developing any kind of sustainable alternative, but into writing an application. And in the end, one project is lucky and gets the 1,000 euros. And 1,000 euros enter the field of sustainability. But 5,000 euros have already left the field of sustainability. So we look at a result of minus 4,000 euros for sustainability. Our grant that wanted to do something good for sustainability has harmed it. I have seen something like this very often, even with numbers as crazy as this. This is broken, right? Okay, let's have a closer look on what is broken, why is it broken, and how to fix it. We look here at the classical case of externalization of costs. And the externalization of costs is a classical sustainability problem. So let's do a quick excursus on externalities. Externalities or the externalization of costs means that when you produce a product, there are usually costs attached to make the product before you can sell it and benefit from it. For example, you have to pay for labor or for energy or for materials and so on. And externalization means that you make others pay these costs wherever you can, so you only benefit from it. There's one classical example. Let's say you have a factory which is located on a river and you produce a product there, and one of your byproducts is toxic water. Usually you would have to pay for cleaning the water or hire someone to do this job. But our factory here, instead of doing this, quietly releases the toxics into the river. So for them, problem solved, money saved. But along the river, there's a little village. And the people living in that village become sick from the water. And they have to stay at home and lie in bed to deal with their illness, because now their body becomes the filter for the toxins. And they have to buy expensive medication. These costs, the costs for the medication and for staying at home and dealing with the illness, these are the costs to clean the toxic water. But not the factory is paying these costs, they do. The factory has successfully externalized these costs. They only benefit and they pay. This is what we do when we pollute and exploit the planet. Others pay or will pay, for example, future generations or us in the future. And capitalistic companies are really great at externalizing costs in order to maximize profit. This is what we have sustainability basically for. Cleaning up after externalization is maybe the major issue for sustainability. And yet, we have sustainability grants that use the exact same mechanism that they are there to fix. I mean, it is not a problem in the world of startups where it really doesn't matter if we have one product more or not. But in the world of sustainability, we don't need just one bee initiative. We need one in every little village. Okay, before we look into how to fix this, let's first understand the problem a little bit better. Okay, what is the grant giver's problem? They have 1,000 euros and they need to filter all the initiatives to find the right one. This filtering comes with costs. But this process here externalizes this filter costs to them. All of them have to write a proposal. They have to pre-pack something specifically tailored to the search of this one grant giver. These are absurd high costs paid by them. And in the end, only them benefit because, hey, aren't we cool? We gave away 1,000 euros to sustainability and one of them. But all the others, they paid for the show. Why is this? Why are so many grants doing this? Well, there's a simple explanation for this. It used to be the best way before the internet was around. So let's assume you are an institution, represented by this. And there are a bunch of sustainability projects all over the place. The question is, how can they become visible to the institution? Well, it doesn't make sense that all of them buy very expensive and scarce airtime on TV or radio or ads in large newspapers. No, it makes sense that the institution buys this time once and therefore becomes visible to all of them. And then they write single and cheap letters to the institution and make themselves visible from the periphery to the center. But the world has changed. We have now the internet. And at least since 2010, it's really easy, quick and cheap to set up a website. So all the initiatives can set up their own websites and become permanently visible to the world. And then the institution can do the work. Use a search engine and find them. So from the center to the periphery. But you might say, these websites, I've seen some of them. Many are really low quality, some have barely useful information on them. True. But it could work like this. The institution announces the grant and it announces that it will browse the web for initiatives to support. Please make sure that you have this and that information posted on your About page. The structured proposal. But instead of sending it to the institution, it's publicly on the web. And the institution also shares some useful hints and tips how to set up a website really quickly. This would already create something good because many initiatives have low quality websites that barely explain what they do because they are so busy explaining it behind closed doors to funders. But now the information is publicly on the web. They have a much better website which is also useful for other things. For example, connecting in a better way to the public and here comes the beauty, also to other funders that can also see this information and make use of it. And let's say you are a really big and influential funder. Then you could create some kind of open standard about information that must be available about an initiative on its website. You would create a whole new ecosystem of communication and visibility in the field of sustainability. And then you find some initiatives you like. But of course, you have additional questions. You need to know more specific things. So you ask them to write a more detailed proposal for you. But you pay them already to do this. You internalize the costs of the filter process instead of exploiting people that want to do something good for the future of our planet. Your money goes to 100% into accelerating change and not to a significant portion into destroying it. There are already a few grants that work like this, but it need to be way more. Okay, if you reflect on that for a while, you will find a lot of interesting angles, further questions or ideas on top. For example, one of an open database or list where sustainability initiatives can sign up their websites. Then funders don't even have to browse the web, but can go directly to that list. Imagine what kind of sustainability dynamic this could unfold. With openness in the form of an open information standard and openly available information and smart use of the internet, we can do things a lot better. Well, this was Fixing Funding for Sustainability. Stay tuned for more broken things and ideas how to fix them. My name is Lars Zimmermann and I do a bunch of projects you can check out here. blog larszimmermann.de. Yeah, I did not mention that some of these funders even ask for videos or pictures, maybe even in Pecha Kucha formats. sometimes you really have the feeling that they have a secret mission, which is stopping sustainability.